Mobility scooter to triathlon update by Gina Dallison. It is the 27th of September 2024, and it has been 2 months since I stepped out into the world and had this amazing idea that I was going to completely heal myself and take part in a full able-bodied triathlon next year. So I want to give you an update of where I am in that journey. Not very far, I have to say. In fact, it feels like I'm going backwards a little bit, if I'm totally honest. It felt like a big, fat, scary, audacious goal. A BHAG, they call it. A big, hairy, audacious goal. I don't know why goals have to be hairy, but that's the acronym, apparently. And I got all excited and enthusiastic, and I tapped into Joe Dispenza's work of if I just imagine myself in that place. And I did a couple of mornings where I got into such an emotional state because I imagined myself running through that finish line at the end of a 5k run after I've done a 20k cycle ride and a 750-meter swim in an open water, and actually get through to people cheering and shouting and taking my photographs. Then I didn't stay on that. So actually maybe that stuff can really work if you're consistent a little bit more than I am. What else did I do to get myself on that journey? I upped my swimming. So swimming's the strongest of all the three elements for me, because at the moment I'm really not walking very well. But swim I can do. My upper body strength is not bad. So I went from being, the longest time I could swim was a 50 meters, which is 2 lengths of my swimming pool without stopping for a breath. Then I upped it to 100 meters. So that felt I was making progress. But now I'm back to 50 meters again, and haven't been swimming as much. We went on holiday, had some things, other priorities, I guess. And if I'm honest, it feels like my legs are heavier than ever. However, healing is not a linear journey, is it? It's not a linear path. There are going to be ups and downs, and there are going to be more challenges to face. That is the point. The whole idea of having a goal that you're reaching for is not necessarily the achieving of that goal, but it is more who you become in achieving that goal. And how determined am I on this healing journey is a good question that I've asked myself regularly. So if I can't do the easiest thing to do, which is lying in bed and visualizing myself getting through that finishing line on a consistent basis, then how am I going to do the harder stuff? I don't know, just putting that out there to myself as I'm sharing with you. And also what I promised I would do is I would share my journey with you. And 2 months has gone past, and I did a few shares to start with because I was all inspired and yes, I'm doing this. And then when things didn't feel like I was making progress, then I didn't feel much like sharing my journey. So I'm recording this video now because something else that has been more challenging than I expected was finding the tech that would allow me to share my journey with ease. So at the moment, I'm just down to doing the basic thing of recording and then posting. So I'm going to record and post. And if you want to join me on the journey, that's fantastic. If you don't, then just scroll by and ignore. So what have I been doing? What haven't I not been doing? What have I... The diet's still good. I'm still very clean diet on the whole. That's not to say I've had the odd cake binge. When I say binge, 2 or 3 brownies in one go. The odd cake, I have to say I've had the odd cake. I am quite partial to an odd cake. I've had an Indian at the Indian restaurant. and a naan bread. I know, how naughty is that? So when I say clean, the idea of clean eating is, for me anyway, is to clear out gluten, clear out dairy, refined sugar. They're the main three things. Eat as cleanly as possible. So anything processed really is out of it's not ideal. So keep away from processed food. And on the whole, I do that. I have a box of organic veg that gets delivered to my door every 2 weeks, and I pretty much make that last, along with a couple of little trips to Aldi. So some of the food is as much as I can do as organic as possible. I have some tomatoes growing in the garden, so that's good as well. But then I also use Aldi, which may or may not be good or bad. We just have to do the best that we can with what we've got. And I think what's most important is the energy that we put behind it. So if I'm eating that stuff from Aldi with that little negative Nelly thought in my head saying this isn't really good for you, which still is there deep down because I'm talking about it now, then it's better to wipe that out. Just affirm that actually this is really good. Take some time before you eat or when you're preparing your food to affirm that this food is living its purpose for being on your plate right now. And that will up your energy about everything that you're eating. Okay, that's a little update now. I won't keep these too long because I can rabbit on for ages and ages. I've done some other stuff as well. I've recently had 2 colonic irrigations, so I will do another video telling you a little bit more about that. I have done a liver cleanse. I will maybe combine those in a little video. What else have I been doing? I have last week or the week before, I went back to my swimming coach because I upped my lengths to 100 to 4 lengths without stopping, and then it sort of went back down again. So my swimming coach is just amazing, and also she can see things that maybe I can't see. That's the joy of having a coach in anything. They see your blind spots, they see what you don't. So with a little sort of shift in how, because this arm's a little bit lazy, so I have to really move the elbow at first and then up and over. So then I really have to think about what I'm doing when I'm swimming, which makes it much harder, much more exhausting, but it's also good for your brain cells. So when you're living with something like MS, or when you're just getting older, then it is worthwhile doing things that reignite those neurons in your brain. So even something as simple as swimming better, because we tend to, our muscle memory does the same thing. If you've been swimming for years, chances are your stroke isn't as good as it could be because you haven't had them little nudges along the way to say, actually, your elbow needs to come a bit higher, your legs need to go a bit faster, or whatever it is. So get yourself a coach. Obviously, I am a coach. Not for swimming, though, not for swimming, but I can help you with the blind spots of your life. And that's what I do in my coaching. So that's something else, I think, that is keeping me on a higher vibration, just the work that I do. So where am I at right now with regarding to my triathlon dream? Still on the journey. I will post again more regularly. This is my intention. Thank you for listening this far. If you like what you've heard, or you've got any questions, or anything I've said resonates, or just that you're still listening, can you just give me a little heart or a tick to know that actually it's worthwhile? It definitely helps with the inspiration of getting things done. Thank you. I'll see you again.